Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Just Fish Outdoors Live. This week's going to be a good show. We're going to talk to Dave Clark, Fish on OK Guide Service, see what he's been up to and what he's been catching. And we're also going to have a conversation with Vance Montgomery of Montgomery Productions, and we're going to talk about the upcoming Oklahoma City show. Folks, I'm telling you, this is just going to be an awesome, awesome show, and Vance is going to help us understand exactly what's going to be there and all the highlights and all the vendors and everything else. So without further ado, let's talk about, let's listen to Dave Clark and see what he's got on his mind.
Hello, it's David Clark, Fish on Guide Service, doing my weekly report for Dale York's Just Fish Outdoors webcast for Northeast Oklahoma. Haven't been doing a whole lot this week. I just got in from catching bait out on Keystone. Getting ready to do a trip this week. Bait on Keystone's real easy to get. It just depends on what size you want, how easy it is. If you want the small 2-inch ones, are real easy. If you want the bigger 4, 5, 6-inch ones, are a little bit harder. You got to kind of pick through them and stuff, but they're there, real easy to get. I've been using a tape net. Some guy showed me, I think Ed showed me a couple of years ago how to tape it up. It's just kind of been passed around from one guy to another on how to do that. It's pretty handy when they're down deep in this cool water. The water temperature on Keystone's 45 degrees. I did do one trip up there this past week, catfish trip. We did okay. Nothing real big. Had one big one up to the boat, came off, of course. The ones we kept and cleaned was, I think our biggest was 8 and the smallest was about 2. But we had a pretty good trip and made a lot of nice fillets. Sooner Lake, I haven't got any reports from over there other than guys walking in, saying they're doing pretty good walking the banks and stuff, so that must mean they're generating maybe. I am going over there. We canceled tomorrow's trip because of the cool weather. It's not even going to get above 32 tomorrow. Thursday we're going to go and try it on Sooner Lake. Hopefully we'll do pretty good over there. They've been generating, pulled all the bait fish and everything else up in there. Skytook Lake, I haven't seen any reports on Skytook Lake or Oologah Lake. I do know there's some nice crappie being caught on smaller lakes around the area here. Some heated docks, and they're doing pretty good on the crappie. Rusty Pritchard up on Grand Lake is still doing good on spoonbill snagging. He's catching some real nice ones out there in the deep water. Anyway, this day, hope you had a Merry Christmas and be safe this new year. It's pretty cool out there today even, and when the water gets in the boat floor like that, it gets real slick. So be real safe, especially if you're by yourself. The net was getting stiff from freezing in the wind and stuff, and then the floor got slick. Luckily the bait was fairly easy and I wasn't out in it too long throwing that net. Anyway, it's David Clark, Fish on Guide Service. Contact me on my Facebook page or my website, fishonok.com. Fish on, hope you have a Merry Christmas and be safe. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Dave, you know, there's some very good lessons there and some things he said. You know, folks, if you're out fishing by yourself this time of year, be sure you wear that PFD and take extra precautions. Because it really doesn't take too long this time of year to really find yourself in a big problem. So be very, very careful out there this time of year. And let's listen to Vance Montgomery. We had a conversation with him in regards to the upcoming Oklahoma City Boat Show, Tackle and RV Show. And you know, he just has a lot going on up there in Oklahoma City this coming January 12th through the 14th. It's just going to be an awesome show, and we had a pretty lengthy conversation with him. It'll probably be a 2-part show, probably this week and next week. But let's see what Vance has to say, and I think you folks need to really black out those dates on your calendar and plan to attend, because this sounds like it's just going to be a really good show. So let's listen to Vance Montgomery and a conversation we had a little earlier. Hi folks, welcome back to Just Fish Outdoors. Dale York here, and as I talked to earlier in the program, I'm going to introduce a very good friend of mine, and he's the owner-operator of Vance Montgomery and Montgomery Productions, and he's got just a wonderful show coming up in Oklahoma City this year, folks. Matter of fact, it's probably going to be one of his biggest shows that he's done, and it's just going to be lights out. So let's talk to Vance via telephone here. And Vance, jump in here and let's talk about this fantastic show you got coming up.
Well, I really appreciate you having me on tonight. You know, we've had our shows now, I guess, for Marcus told me yesterday, for 19 years, which it really doesn't seem like it's been that long, but I guess time flies when you're having fun.
Boy, ain't that the truth?
But you know, we've done these shows from Claremore to Tulsa to Bixby to Grove to Oklahoma City to Dallas to Fort Smith, Arkansas, and you know, we've put together some pretty cool stuff over the years, and you know, I've got a big passion for fishing. A lot of guys know, and I try to put these shows together, you know, like something I would want to go to. And we've been working on something kind of in the background for the last couple of years in Oklahoma City, and it's finally kind of come together because of them building a really first-class, world-class facility at the fairgrounds in Oklahoma City.
And, you know, I really feel like now that they built that new Bennett Event Center, it's really opened a lot of doors for us as promoters to create an event that's going to be beyond what we've ever got to do there. And, you know, just because we've never really had, like, even on the outdoor side that's nothing to do with fishing or hunting, and I guess it is in a way, but even the RV side, you know, we've never, ever been able to have an RV dealer in the show. And I know there's tons of people that love the outdoors and maybe are not into fishing or hunting, but they love the RVing and just traveling. And, you know, we've got every one of the top RV dealers in Oklahoma there. We've got probably, I got a little list here. We've got we've got like 15 different boat dealers this year.
We've got, my.
Off-road guys that have got ATVs for the hunters and all the different off-road vehicles that are available now. We've got Bass Cat, Tracker, Nitro, Jones Off-Road. We've got Indian Hills Marine, Wild Bill's Marine, Mad Max Marine. Shangri-La is going to come all the way from Grand Lake to be involved in this show for the first time. We've got Ugly John's, Nichols, RV Station, Matt's Marine, Floyd's Marine. Along with all the Texoma guides and outfitters on the striper fishing, to Lake Fork, Texas guides for bass fishing, to, you know, we've got New Mexico elk and mule deer guides, to Nebraska whitetail hunters. And, you know, we've got a guide coming all the way from Montana that does elk hunts. We've got Alaskan outfitters. I mean, I've just never had this opportunity. I guess that's why I'm so excited about what we've got going, is because we've always had a pretty good show, but because of just having the room for the first time, we've got overwhelming. I mean, this show's got something for everybody.
Yeah, you know, like I said, you know, you guys do such a good job of putting this show together, and this sounds like a genuine, you know, blockbuster for sure. Let's quickly go over now what we're talking about is the big Oklahoma City Boat, RV, and Tackle Show in conjunction with the Montgomery Productions Tackle Hunting and Boat Show. Now, this is going to be in Oklahoma City at the fairgrounds, January 12th through the 14th of 2018, which is right around the corner, folks. I mean, you need to mark this down on your calendar, and you might even want to think about gathering up the family and booking a hotel room for the night, because I'm not sure you're going to be able to get through all this in one day.
No. I mean, this is an event that you could actually go to for all 3 days. I mean, with it being in all three buildings at the fairgrounds in Oklahoma City, I mean, this event, if you're a really outdoorsman, is something you can enjoy for the full weekend. Uh, we, with the dog shows, we've got the Catch and Fish dog show coming back. I mean, that's been something that, has been a big entertainment for us for several years, and I know lots and lots of people really enjoy that, and it's something you can bring the kids to if you've never came to our event before. Jason Reynolds does one of the most awesome dog retriever, fun, jumping water dog shows that you've ever seen. He puts on a show that he does with 6 different Labrador retrievers in a 60-foot aquarium that he jumps the dogs into. It's a very interactive show with the kids. They get to actually come up and be a part of the show if they want to be. We've got a trout fishing pond for the kids as well this year. So there's a lot of different interactions that the young guys and girls can take a part of.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, folks, there truly is something for everybody. Everything from outdoor log furniture to smokers. It's just not your typical tackle hunting and boat show. I mean, there are so many vendors going to be at this year's show, and like Vance was talking about, even a kid's trout tank. And let me tell you, folks, I try to sneak over there and watch some of this as it's going on when I'm out there at the show, and I just get such a hoot watching these little kids catch those trout. It is so entertaining.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, it's not as easy as you think, is it, Dale?
No, usually at the end of your shows, you gather up some of the pros, and we have us a little tournament over in the trout tank at the end of the show. And let me tell you, it's usually a one fish winner at those tournaments.
That's right. That's right. But at the beginning, the fish are pretty easy to catch. By the last day, at the end of the day, they get a little tougher, don't they?
they get a lot tougher by the end of the day. I guarantee you. They smarten up in a hurry. That's for sure. Now, once again, folks, that's going to be in Oklahoma City at the fairgrounds. It's going to be in at least 3 different buildings on the fairgrounds. That's going to be January 12th through the 14th. Of 2018, and like I said, it's right around the corner. If you're looking for some of the latest tackle that's been introduced this year, come out to the show. It'll be there. I will be there as Lowrance Pro staff along with Steve Carroll. If you're looking for some information on some of the new Lowrance units that have just been released this year, like the Hook 2, come on out. We'll be glad to try and help you with those purchasing decisions, or at least run you through the new features and advanced sonar that Lowrance has come out with this year. Vance will be there. One of the things you really need to do, folks, is when you come to this show, you need to go over and look around Vance, Van Mar Taxidermy, which is Vance and his son Marcus. They just produce some world-class taxidermy. Boy, Vance, that table that you built last year for the show was absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah, that actually was something I did for a guy that lives up at Grand Lake, and he had came into our shop and said, hey, I'd really like to do something special to go in my new home, and I kind of had a piece that I won the World Taxidermy Competition several years ago in fish taxidermy, and I kind of had a piece in my mind that I wanted to do to try to duplicate that and win the world show again. And I'd always wanted to do a bass jumping through the water chasing a bullfrog. And I kind of talked to him about that, and he said, hey, I would love to do that. If you would do it for me. I said, okay, I'll do it under one condition. If you will actually let me do it again with the World Taxidermy Competition. He said, no problem. So I created the piece, and it turned out probably even better than I ever thought it could. And, post a lot of pictures on Facebook, kind of promoting our taxidermy shop. And I'll never forget this. My son calls me after I posted that picture, and he said, "Dad, you gotta quit sharing that picture." I said, "Well, I'm not sharing it." And he said, "Well, you gotta be." I said, "Well, I'm not. I posted to a couple different sites, but that's all I've done." And he said, "Well, it's already had like 30,000 shares." And I said, "No way." And 2 hours later, it had 90,000 shares, and 3 hours later, it had 6 million views.
Wow.
And by the next day, it had 8 million views. Then the Channel 6 News calls and said, "Hey, we want to do an interview with you. We're seeing this piece of taxidermy you did that's trending and went viral." And so Channel 6 comes out and does a big interview with us and all that. And honestly, it kind of changed our shop, overnight.
Oh, I bet it did.
Honestly, I had 4 people for 5 days, 24 hours a day, answering questions about taxidermy from literally some of it. We had to have a translator to even tell what it said. We had people from Germany to Spain to Russia to all over the world asking questions about this piece of taxidermy, and it was pretty overwhelming. But it was a cool deal, and honestly, since that piece happened a little over a year ago, I've got to do 7 more pieces similar to that since then. So it's been a good thing, and we'll have a big booth at the show with our taxidermy work, and we'll have a lot of different pieces on display, and there'll be some other taxidermy shops there as well. It's not just all about us. There'll be some other taxidermy shops there that are world class as well. So the guys that like the taxidermy stuff, there'll be some really cool stuff there to see. And along with we have a little sporting goods shop as well that we kind of specialize in overstock or clearance items. We'll have that as well, and we'll have some awesome deals. Along with a lot of other vendors. I don't want to try to take away from what everybody else is doing, because one thing that I know, and I preach this to the vendors that come: hey, if you want to sell tackle, if you want to sell your hunting products, you got to come with good deals. And that's one thing that I look for for vendors that come to our shows is vendors that are willing to come and they come to sell their product. And they're coming with good deals and good pricing, and it's not just something that you can go into the Bass Pro or any other store and find. You're going to find products that are a lot of custom things that you will not find at any other place. As far as I got guys that are bringing in custom painted, hand painted crankbaits. You're not going to find that anyplace else. We've got custom made rods, custom made jigs, custom made, crankbaits to spinner baits, and that's what I look for, is the guy that'll come to our show and bring product that you can't go find anywhere else.
Yeah,
that's what means a lot to me.
Yeah, and another thing that really kind of trips my bell as well is we have a lot of Oklahoma manufacturers of both fishing tackle and hunting stuff. And you draw a lot of Oklahoma manufacturers to these shows, and I'm a big supporter of home brewed stuff, and because
between Oklahoma and Texas and Arkansas and 4 or 5 of our surrounding states, we're really fortunate, Dale, to have as much fishing and hunting products that are built and sold all over the world are manufactured right here, very, very close to us.
Yeah, that's very true.
And that is honestly, what has helped to build this show. I think because Oklahoma has so many sportsmen, so many outdoorsmen, that it has made it easy for me to bring good vendors to our shows because they know the market's here.
Yeah.
You know, we have a lot of outdoorsmen. We have so much water. You know, I know a lot of people that are from out of, you know, away from Oklahoma don't realize how much water we really have here. But if you think about, especially in the Tulsa area and Oklahoma City and throughout the state, of how many lakes that we really have in the state of Oklahoma, you know, it relates to how many outdoorsmen and how many fishermen and hunters we have.
Yeah, it is truly, especially a water-rich state, and it's truly a fisherman-rich state. You know,
Yes.
we have so much water, so many impoundments, and some of them world class. You know, like
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
the Bass Masters held on Grand Lake last year. You know, and producing the weights that they've been producing the last couple of years on different tournaments around. You know, they're catching 25-pound strings on a regular basis out of some of these lakes, folks.
Oh, yeah.
And you know that is, I don't care where you're at, that's world class, man. That is
It
world
is.
class.
And you know, I think sometimes we forget how lucky we really are to have such a state that's rich with water and not just water, but water that is really some of the best water, you know, outdoorsman wise, fishing or hunting.
Yeah.
That there is in the United States.
Yeah, you're exactly correct. We're very fortunate as outdoorsmen to live in the state that we live in, and those of us that grew up fishing and hunting around the state, in some cases don't really understand, or we somewhat take for granted our opportunities, and we shouldn't. That's for sure. Now, folks, once again,
you know what else? We have a couple pretty good football teams here too.
oh boy, you're gonna start fighting now. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm gonna stay out of that one for sure.
Boomer Sooner.
I hear you. Well, I'm an OSU grad, so I say no more. Say no more.
I hear you. My son graduated from OSU, and I love both of them. I like to see Oklahoma do well, but hey, for this year, I'm all about Oklahoma making it to the finals.
I hear you. I hear you. Now, once again, folks, we're talking to Vance Montgomery of Montgomery Productions, and he's the owner-operator of Montgomery Productions, and he, along with some others, have put together, in my humble opinion, probably the best show, maybe in the States, but definitely the best show is going to be in the Midwest this year. It's going to be the Oklahoma City Boat, RV, and Tackle Show, along with Montgomery Productions Tackle, Hunting, and Boat Show in Oklahoma City. Now, that's January 12th through the 14th, 2018, and it's going to be all over the fairgrounds in at least 3 different buildings. Is there any booth space available, you think, Vance?
You know, I've got just a few spaces left. Nothing big, but I do have, you know, if somebody was wanting a smaller booth for tackle sales or a guide or outfitter, I can still help them. You bet.
Yeah.
And they're definitely welcome to call me. They can actually even call me on my mobile at 918-520-3474. And even if it's not even about being a vendor, even if you have questions about the show in itself, you're welcome to call me anytime.
Yeah, and you know, I really, really encourage anyone that may be sitting on the fence to get a booth. Number one is you better hurry, and number two is I tell you folks, there's going to be so much traffic at this show that it's going to be unreal. You better bring some stuff and bring some help, because you're going to need it if you've got a booth at this show.
Well, with that being said, you know, with us having the tackle and hunting show in the past, we've averaged about 12 to 15,000 people on a weekend. And with the boat and RV show, they've averaged about 10 to 15,000 people as well. You know, when you combine the two, and with the added dollars that we have in promotion dollars, now that we've added both of these shows together as one, you know, this will be the biggest event Oklahoma City's ever had in the outdoor industry.
You know, now, once again, folks, you know, this is going to be in Oklahoma City, January 12th through the 14th, 2018. Vance has got a ton of pros lined up. He's got a big bass tank that they're going to be doing seminars on. They're going to be doing seminars over in the seminar area. He'll have a room set up to be doing that. There's going to be everything from crappie to catfish on these seminars. We'll be doing seminars on Lowrance equipment. We'll basically just be having seminars on it, just about everything you can think of. Like Vance mentioned earlier, Todd Huckabee, who's a very well-known crappie guide, produces a lot of fish consistently all year long. He's going to be there talking about crappie tactics. I'll be there talking about big bass strategies, nighttime big bass strategies. We're just going to have a plethora of these guides and full-time, pros that come in and talk and share this information with you. That is much more than the cost of admission right there. And speaking of cost of admission, what's that going to be, Vance?
It'll be $10, just like always. And we do $5 for the kids, and then we also offer a $1 discount to the veterans. And we also offer, kids at 5 and under are free. So, we definitely encourage this show is, it's for the outdoorsmen, but it's definitely not just for the guys. We've got booths for the women as well, Dale, this year. That's something I've always tried to do is, have a few booths that the girls like as well. And so we got something for the kids to do. And to educate anybody that's willing to learn about the outdoors. And for the first time, we're going to have RVs, more boats than any other show's ever had in Oklahoma City, more RVs than anybody's ever had, and the most tackle and hunting dealers that me personally have ever had in 19 years.
Vance, man, I tell you, how much information can you cram into 30 to 40 minutes? I get to talking about this thing and I get so excited that I just love these shows of yours, and I have so much enjoyment, meet so many people, and they're so well put together and so top shelf, and I can't say that enough. These shows are top shelf, folks. They're not a Mickey Mouse run type deal. And once again, this is going to be in Oklahoma City, January 12th through the 14th, 2018, in the Oklahoma City Fairgrounds, and it's going to be Cox Pavilion, Centennial Building, Bennett Event Center. Vance, close the show up for me. What else you would like to say?
Well, just in closing, just to let everybody know, this is something that we work 12 months a year to put on for 3 days. And I really feel like we've done this for 19 years now. And we had the first opportunity now that Oklahoma City has built a new world-class facility to put on an event, the biggest event that's ever been held for the outdoorsmen in Oklahoma City. And it's January 12th through the 14th. Whether you're into RVs, you're into boats, you're into bass boats, you're into yachts, you're into pontoons, to Harley Davidsons, to guided duck hunts, to guided deer hunts, elk hunts, going to Africa, to going to Texoma, to Skytube, to Grand Lake. Whatever you're into, we've got something for every person, whether you're a kid, a lady, or a gentleman that is into the outdoors. You're going to find something at this show that you're going to enjoy.
Yeah, I think you just about threw a net on about every person that's walking upright there. You truly do have something for everyone at this show. Vance, what's that phone number once again if someone wants to call you and talk about this?
Yeah, anybody's got more questions, they want to talk vendor space, got a few vendor spaces left to sell, or if you're just interested in more detail about the show, you can call me on my mobile at 918-520-3474.
And, of course, folks, you can go to MontgomeryProductions.com. Is it .com, I think, on the net?
Yes.
And you can
MontgomeryProductions.com. We've got a really informative website, MontgomeryProductions.com. That'll give you all the details you could ever want.
yeah, it lists some of the people that's going to be there. It has I think it has a full seminar list on there for both the bass tub and the seminar room. You know, folks, it is just a marvelous way to spend a couple of days. I mean, it's a massive show. Vance, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Dale. I very much appreciate it.
I can't wait to come to the show and shake your hand and see all the marvelous things that you got set up for us this year, because I know it's just going to be a very eye-opening, pleasant experience. So, folks, what I'm going to do is, there's so much information in this show, I'm going to make a part 2. And Vance, we'll come back at you and we'll share some more of this information in part 2. But once again, folks, it's Vance Montgomery, Montgomery Productions, and we're talking about the Oklahoma City boat, tackle, hunting, and RV and knife and everything you can think of show. And it's going to be in Oklahoma City, January 12th through the 14th, 2018, Oklahoma City Fairgrounds, Cox Pavilion Building, Centennial Building, and Bennett Event Center. So, folks, you need to black that out on your calendar and make plans to attend this show, because it truly is going to be a keeper. Vance, thanks a lot, and we'll catch you later.
See you later, Dale. Thank you.
Boy, I tell you what, you know, this year's show in Oklahoma City is just going to be awesome show. You know, you folks that are listening, that are in the area, need to really make plans to attend this show, because there's really going to be nothing like it around here. The show in Oklahoma City is going to be over 500,000 square feet of show space, and we're truly going to have something for everyone. So if you get the opportunity, once again, that's January 12th through the 14th at the Oklahoma City Fairgrounds. You folks need to really make plans and black out those dates, because I guarantee you it's going to be a really good show. Once again, this is Dale York for Just Fish Outdoors saying, we'll catch you later.